Students, I'm Professor Shraddha Firke from the KK Wagh Arts, Commerce, Science, Computer Science College, Kaka Saheb Nagar, Ranwad. Today we are going to study functions in C programming. So let's start. What are the different functions and what are the types of functions with their examples? So there are two different types of functions. First one is built-in functions and another one are user-defined functions. So what are the built-in functions? Built-in functions that are by default exist in your C programming that we can use directly using the standard library. For example, scanf, printf, getc, putc, and another different functions that are the built-in functions. And what are the user-defined functions? This is a series of instructions that are to be executed more than once. That means for any purpose or the set of instruction that we want to execute more than once, that are putted into a single function, and that is known as a user-defined functions. So what is the syntax for user-defined functions? User-defined functions are the functions that we define for our purpose. So what is the syntax? There exists a written data type for the function, then the function name and its arguments or the argument list. Here we have to pass the arguments with their data type. So then the curly opening bracket in which the body of the function, that is your statements of your function, and then finally the return. If you want to return any data from the function, then we can use the return statement. Otherwise there is no need of return statement. And how we can call the function from the main class? For this syntax is the function name that we have defined here and the types of arguments. So here we can pass the actual arguments that of the functions, and here we define the formal parameters of these functions that can take the place of the actual parameters. So this is how one example is there for the user defined functions. We define some function like address function in or out of the main class, and we can call this user defined function into a main class. Let's see one example of user defined function. So here we have first included the standard input output library. Then the function is hi, void hi. Void is the user defined void is the return type for the function hi, and this is the definition of our function. So void represents that we do not want to return any data from this function. So there is a return type of the function is void, and in the function we have defined two different statements or printed two different statements using the printf statement. Welcome to the functions, and the second statement is good morning. So here we end our function, that is a hi function. So this is our definition, and this function do not have any type of argument. So there exists a blank arguments. Then in our main class we call this function how? First of all, we have cleared the screen, then printed one message, main and welcome to the functions. Okay, so we are in the main class and we are welcoming to the functions. Then we call our user defined function hi by using the function name and the brackets. Here we do not have any type of argument, so the argument list is blank. Then we have printed one message bye and getSys. GetSys is for the accepting one character before return from the main function. And here we have completed the main function. So when we will call this hi function, the control of the function will go, or the control of the execution will go into a definition. First of all, the in output we will print this statement, then it will go into the definition, then it will print these two statements, and after this it will print bye message. Now we will see different categories of functions. It is based on the written values and passing arguments. So how we can pass the arguments and how we return the values from the different functions. There exist four different types of categories of the function. First category is no arguments and no return value. Just we have seen one user defined function hi that has no arguments and it do not return any values. Then the second type of category of the function is which have the arguments but it will not return any values. Then the third type of category is there exist no arguments but it will return values. And the last one is with arguments, that will the function will have the arguments and it will also return any values. So these are four different categories of your functions. Now we will look first type of category, that is no arguments and no return values. So for this we will take one example to perform the addition of two numbers. So how we can define the addition function? First of all, we have declared the function void add. Void will represent that it do not return any values, and after add function the brackets are empty, that means there exists no any argument. So this function will do not have any arguments and it will do not return any values. So how we can define this function? First of all, we will see the definition and then we will see the main function. So void add, and in curly bracket we have to add the two numbers. So we have defined three integers, integer a, b and c, and first of all we have accepted the values like enter two numbers, and we have scanned that statements %d, that is address of a and address of b. So a and b's values are accepted from the user. Then we have added these two numbers into a c and the sum is printed. So here we have accepted the numbers, added them into a c and printed the sum. So whole thing we have done in this add function. So it will do not return any values and it do not accepts any values, that is it do not have any arguments. So how we can call this function into a main function? So here in void main we have directly called this function using the function name and the blank parameters, that is blank, and again this main function ends and again we have called the add function second time. So we have called this add function here two times but without any argument. So this is the first type of your function or the category of the function that do not have the arguments and do not return any values. The next category of the function is with the arguments but it do not return any values. Same example we will carry forward for this also. Here we can have the arguments but it will do not return any values. So same, we have declared the function of addition. Void will represent that it do not returns any values, but in add function we have two different arguments of type integer. So in the declaration of this add function we have added two integer values, that is integer and integer, that will represent that it has arguments of integer values. Okay, so in main function what we have called, we have two different variables of type integer x and y, and we have printed or accepted the values of this x and y. We have asked for the entering two numbers and scan that two numbers into x and y and called our function add, and here we have passed these actual arguments x and y. So here in the calling of the function, the parameters that we have passed that are known as actual arguments, and the place the actual parameters are being replaced by the formal parameters into its definition. So the formal parameters will take the place of the actual parameters. So in the definition what we have done, we have defined the function like void add integer a comma integer b. So this a and b are the formal parameters. We will take the place of the actual parameters or the actual arguments. So in case of x, the value of the x will be copied into a and the value of y will be copied into b, and then we will add these two numbers into a variable c and we will print that function, print that value of the C, that is the addition value we will print here. So here we have printed the value here, not returned the value. So it will not return anything, but it has a input from the different as a actual parameters. So let's see what is a return statement. So return statement is used to return the values or the return any statement from the function, or to return the execution from the originally called function. So it causes the execution to return to the point at which the call to the function was made. That is, when we call any function from the main function, so after execution of the main function, the return statement will go again into the main function where we have called the caller function. The return statement can have the value with it, which it returns to the program. So the return statement can have any value that will be returned to the calling function. So now we will see the third category of our function, that is a without arguments but with return values. That means the function that will have any arguments, it will return any values but it do not have the arguments. So the same example we will follow here. We have declared the function called integer add. So this is the declaration of our function, but here we have defined or declared this function with the return value or with the return type. So that this statement will represent that the addition function or the add function, it do not carries any arguments, but it will return something that will be an integer type. So this is the return type of this function add. So the function add will return the integer value from this to the main function. So how we can define this function, or how we can call this function into a main function? So let's start with the void main. Then we have defined one variable. This variable will contain the returned value from the add function. So this is a return variable called C, and this will hold the value that will be returned by the add function. So this is how we can call the function add function. And then the sum of the two numbers that will be returned by the add function into a C variable, this is printed here. So we can call the add function this way. Now we will see the definition of our add function. Here integer, that is a return type, and add, it do not have the arguments. So here we have defined three variables A, B and C. So we will accept the two numbers A and B. We will scan that variables and add it into a C. Now we have to send this C or this sum of these two numbers to the main function. So how we can send this? Using the return statement. So return and the variable is C. C is the type of integer. So therefore we have defined here integer return type. So the return statement will pass this C value to the caller function, that is your main function, and this C will be represented here, and the sum of these two numbers will be printed here. Now the last category of our functions is with arguments and with return values. So the same example of the addition of two numbers we will carry here. Now we have the arguments also, and we will return something from this function also. So how we can define this type of function? This is a function prototype declaration or the function prototype statement. So here we can return the integer type of variable from this add function, and it will have the two arguments of type integer. That is, we will add the two integer numbers, and the sum will be added into a integer value, and it will be returned from this function. So we can call this function into a main function, void main, one variable C, and we will accept the two numbers and scan the two numbers like A and B, and we will call this function as add A comma B. We have passed this actual arguments into a add function, and whatever that value will be returned, it will be copied into this C, that is a return variable, and we will print the sum which will be calculated from this function and we will print it. So how we can define this function? Integer, that is a return type of add function, and integer x and integer y. So x and y will be the formal parameters for the actual parameters a and b. So the value of a will be copied into x, value of b will be copied into y. So here we will add these two numbers x and y. We will copy that addition into a C and we will return this C to the main function again, and it will be printed here. So this is how we can define the function that have the arguments and that will return something. Now how we can pass these parameters to the function? There are two different ways to passing the function parameters to the function. Passing the values to the function, that means the functions can communicate with each other by passing the arguments, and it can be passed in two ways. First by call by value method and second by call by reference method. So the passing arguments will be by call by value method and the call by reference method. So what is a call by value method? The values that are passed through the temporary variables. Any manipulation to be done only on those temporary variables. That is known as a call by value method. So the called function will do not access the actual memory locations of the original message or original variables, and therefore it cannot change its value. So therefore in C language the call by value method is by default. So when we pass the values of the parameters and that will be copied into a temporary variables, so the manipulations will be done only in that copied variables, not in your actual variables, that is your actual parameters. So their memory locations cannot be accessed, therefore the changes cannot be made into your actual parameters. So this is what your call by value method. Let's see the example of call by value method. As we have seen in earlier examples, just like add function that have two parameters, integer and integer, and it will do not return any values. So let's see how we can pass these two parameters by using the call by value method. So in main function we have declared two variables and we have accepted the values of two numbers and copied into x and y, and we will call the function like add x and y. So this original variables we have passed here, and when we will call this function it will go into its definition, that is void add integer a and b. Now here a and b are the variables or the formal parameters that take the place of these actual parameters. So our actual values are here in x and y, and we have just copied these values into a and b. So a and b are the temporary variables. So whatever the manipulations will be done, that will be into a and b and not in x and y. So the original value of x and y will remain same, and the copied variable will have the value or whatever manipulation that will be done, that will be in a and b. So in C we will add these two numbers and we will print the value of C. So let's see what will be the output. We have asked for the entering two numbers. We have entered 60 and 20 and the value will be copied into A and B, and these two numbers will be added into C and the value of C will be 80. That means these two values are copied into A and B and we have added those two numbers. Now what is a call by reference method? So to avoid the disadvantage of the call by value method, we have there exists one new method, that is a call by reference method. The function is allowed to access the actual memory locations, that is the addresses of the variables of the arguments or the original variables, and therefore it can change the values of these arguments of the calling routine will have to be changed. And in C, the pointers are used to make this possible. So how we can use the call by reference method using the pointers. So we will take one example of swapping of two numbers using the two numbers. We will have the variable, we will have the function called swap. It will have the two types of argument, but we have declared here the pointer variables or the pointer arguments. Yes, integer pointer and integer pointer, and it will do not return any value. So how we can call this swapping function? We will declare first two variables. We will accept the values of the two variables and we will print before swapping values of this a and b, and then we will call our swap function. Swap function, we have passed the address locations of a and b, not the actual values. So before in call by value method, what we have passed? Only a and b, but here in the reference method, what we are passing? The reference of this a and b, that is the addresses of this a and b. So how we will define the swap function, we will see in next. So to define the swap function, we used void swap, and we have the pointers here. We have used the pointers, integer pointer e and integer pointer f. So e and f will have the actual memory locations of previously defined a and b. So in we will swap these two numbers using one temporary variable, which is also a pointer, integer pointer, temporary variable. So we will copy first value into a temporary variable, then we will copy the second value into first value, and then finally the temporary variable value will be copied into second value. That will be exchange the values of first and second values, but with the original locations because of the pointers. So the swapped values will be e and f. So before swapping, we have entered the value 5 and 6. So before swapping, the values are 5 and 6. And after swapping into the function, we have declared this into the function and we have swapped them into a function, but the changes are made into their original values and the swapped values are 6 and 5. So address of will show the address of that variable and pointer will show the contents of that variable. So we have actually exchanged the contents of that original variables. Therefore, we will get this type of output. So this is what your call by reference method. So let's see quick summary of your functions. So what are the hints for the functions? Functions are easier to write and understand. Again, the arguments are separated by the commas. The body of the function may consist of one or more statements. It can be defined within another function also. The function prototype is a function declaration that will specify the data types of the arguments. And the calling one function from within another is said to be the nesting of the function calls. That is a nested function calls. In main function, it will return an integer which is generally an operating system. So what is a session summary? Basically, a function is a self-contained program or the program statement or the block of statements that will perform a specific well-defined task. So this is the definition of your function. Then there are the 3 steps using the function are defining the function, then providing the prototype and calling the function. And the return statement is used to return the information from the function to the calling portion of your program. I hope you have understood the functions in C programming. Thank you.